be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever strive just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody control me sick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness, show me where I'm going. Strength. No weakness, show them who we are. Strength. No weakness, show me where I'm going. Everybody strength. No weakness, show them who we are. That when you roll, your enemies they must tremble. Your enemies they must tremble. Yo, that when you roll, everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fella. Put my trust in God. Put my trust in God. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can control me sick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change.
Feeling hungry, grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican patties, light and flaky. Caribbean food delight. Taste the difference. Caribbean food delight. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight. Quick and easy, grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
You gotta be firm in this time.
right along.
You gotta be strong in this time.
Whoa,
I'm a survivor.
right along, right along, right along. Where everybody have a story to tell. Gonna go straight into it, huh? We ain't sticking today. Let me just share the program a couple times right here. Then we're going straight into it. We ain't wasting no time. We got business to take care of. Right along, welcome to Monday. Welcome to Monday on the ride. I'm back and in full effect. We back and in full effect. Burning on all cylinders. Well, at least I hope we're burning on all cylinders. I got a story to tell. Remember last week I was telling you guys how they didn't disable my account and I couldn't go live and I couldn't do nothing and I was just like nothing at all. Oh Lord, I just see all the Vicks on my face, right? I have a story about that too. But anyway, guys, things have changed. I got my account back. Thank you so much. And as I say, freedom and free. The things I had to do to get my account back, not normal. Wasn't normal. I promised you guys a vlog on what I had to do. So if anyone have the problem that I had, you guys could do it. All right? How you doing, Nakisha Herolyn Joseph? How you doing? Welcome to the ride. Lacey J, I see you. You reach? Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you. Everybody share the program. Share the program. Share the program. Share the program. Because today's program, Jed. Today's program gonna be a discussion. Freaking discussion. Tag a few friends. Ian Baker, how you doing? Sweetness, how you doing? Genevieve Gita. Hey, Wendy! My good friend Wendy, how you doing? Everybody doing? Let me make sure I shout out Cadell, Patricia, everybody inside. I want to make sure everybody inside now. Everybody inside. Lydia, how you doing? Welcome to the ride. Salvini Noel, how are you doing, my dear? Abinia. Listen, before we go on with the program, Lisa, hey, yes, Lisa Marie. Sorry, Lisa, when you called me today, I was at an event, but I promise you, I'm gonna call you right after the program, Lisa. Thank you so much. The folks over there on YouTube. Patsy, thank you so much. I had a great birthday. Thank you so much for everyone wishing me a happy birthday yesterday. It was amazing. It was so amazing. Had a great time. Miss Isaac, how you doing? Welcome. Sugar Apple, someone hacked your account? I'm sorry to hear that. Velma Marine, everybody. So everybody tag, everybody share. Everybody tag, everybody share. All right. So here's what we're talking about today, guys. Today's story comes from a young lady from the island of Grenada, Carrick-One, Petit Martinique. The young lady contacted us just a few days ago. And even before she contacted me, I hope that she would have contacted me, because I would have probably tried to get in contact with her. Because moments before she contacted me, about 5 minutes before she contacted me, right? I got a total of about 10 different voice messages, instant messages, Facebook messages about an article that was published in the Today newspaper. In one of the newspaper in Grenada, right? The article, which I read, and I got that's a very salacious type of article. That's like that article. I mean, when I read it, I was like, you know what I mean? I had a bad feeling about it. I didn't like the premise of where the article took. The article alleged, and I'm going to read the headlines of the article. The headline of the article read, "Possible HIV outbreak in Guave." Now, Guave, for those of you who are brand new to the program, never been to Grenada, don't know Grenada. Guave is a village in Grenada, very active village in Grenada. The going through the article, I had my producer Lynn go through it as well and give me a summary and her, take on the whole article. The article basically alleged of a particular individual in the village, and I'm paraphrasing here. It described the person as a young lady who is said to be a former educator of sorts, who seems to be becoming drug addict since her behavior is different in recent. She's short, slim, and dark, right? The article went on to allege that this said individual, this said young lady, somehow has HIV, and somehow allege that this particular young lady is spreading it. The article then went on to allege, I'm giving you guys all the background story, so when we go in strong. The article also went on to allege that the said female could be seen sometime in bars, going out in bars late at night, picking up countless amount of men, 11, 12 different men, exhibiting all sorts of strange behavior. So, if the article wasn't, by the way, I must also add that the article did not print a picture of any individual, right? The article is at the bottom, is said to be written by a person named Randy Paul. Whether that's an alias or whatever, that's a person's name. That's what we have here, Randy Paul. Moments later, after the person called me back, a picture started to circulate on social media with a certain individual face, a female face, started to make wrong and attach itself to this article. So the newspaper didn't print the picture, but people, based on the description that was placed in this article, some people thought that they ID'd that specific person. They took a picture of a said individual who somehow matched that description and started to circulate it far and wide to social media. On the program with me today is that said individual whose picture was attached to this particular story. Again, not by the newspaper. The newspaper didn't print any name in particular besides the Randy Paul, and it didn't print any picture. Right? So we have on the phone, on the line right now, the young lady whose picture was shared and attached to this particular article on social media. Her name is Wendy, and she's joining us live right now. Wendy, are you hearing me?
Hi, good evening, Mr. George.
How are you doing, Wendy?
I must say that I'm better than Friday.
You're better than Friday. Yes.
Yes, I am.
Now, Wendy would not be showing her face here today because of a number of different reasons. One of which, after this article was published and then her picture started to circulate on social media, she is in fear for her livelihood, for her life. So she agreed not to show her face, but talk to us about what transpired thus far. All right. All right, Wendy, let's start from the beginning. Wendy, the article that I just mentioned here, I stated a couple things. It didn't mention your name. It didn't have any picture. It don't have a picture of you. It said of a short. How were you identified as the person in this article?
Okay, Mr. George, after the article was published,
Right.
I got numerous phone calls, and persons were telling me to go and check the news today.
Right.
Because they're describing someone. They say the person is short, slim, and dark.
Right.
And they have two children, one daughter of secondary school age.
Right.
And the person is also a past educator. So I checked it out. I read it. I was a bit shocked.
Uh-huh.
So I read the entire article, and I looked at the bottom. I saw the article was written by Randy Paul.
Right.
And I said to myself, well, this can't be me. I don't know anyone. I don't know any Randy Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And then persons kept asking, who's Randy Paul? Because if he's saying that he's this person that's been living in Guam for all his life,
right,
and then no one in Guam knows him. So I forgot about that.
Right.
Because in my mind, this thing has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Then later on, I got a phone call again. And this person asked me, what's going on? I see a picture circulating on social media. And I said to the individual, I said, I didn't see anything. So can you screenshot it and send it to me?
Right.
And I saw this and I started screaming. I started screaming.
So
because you see that this article.
So hold on. Let's take it kind of slow. Let's take it kind of slow because there are people who coming in and then get the whole gist of it. Someone said that they're lost. We ain't even started yet and you're lost. So I don't know what happened to you. We ain't even started yet. I explained the whole backstory. We just started asking the first question and you lost already. And I'm seeing people, guys, and Wendy, hold on a second. I have to say this before we start. Whenever we have programs like this, I see certain set of people coming specifically to create bacchanal, right? Right? And if that's your purpose here to create the bacchanal, we ain't going to entertain it. Because we ain't even started yet and you study bacchanal already. And we just not going to tolerate it. Our motto right here is everyone have a story to tell. She have a story to tell, and she's going to tell her story. When is your time to tell your goddamn story? You're going to come up here and tell your story, or you're going to shut up. You could choose either which one. All right. So the bacchanal thing, we're not here for it. We're here to hear her story and what transpired. And that's her story to tell. Thank you very much. Go right ahead, Wendy. Wendy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. So let me give you the backstory again. The article was printed stating possible HIV outbreak in Guave, in Grenada. All right. The article, as I stated already, did not give any name. It didn't print any picture, but it gave identity of a particular individual, right? A short, slim individual, dark complexion, and other things like 2 kids, one of secondary school level, right? And amongst other things. So my first question to her was, how did she know? Who made the correlation that that was her? Because shortly after the article was printed, her picture started to get circulated and attached to that article. People started to put it all over the place, and it came back to her. All right? Go ahead. So one person messaged you and told you about it. Then start back from there. Wendy.
Okay. So when the person messaged me to inform me of the picture that's been circulated along with the article,
right,
I started screaming because, I mean, this was hard.
Right.
It was like a hard blow.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, as any responsible individual, I ensure that I do my checkups every year.
Right.
My full medical checkup, whether it be blood test, pap smear, whatever it is, I ensure that I get my checkups done every year.
Right.
And I know that I'm not HIV positive.
Yes.
I know that for a fact. So I was questioning myself, what propelled this individual or individuals to attach my photo to such a disgraceful article?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I feel like this was downright ridiculous. It's heartless. And how much lower can we go?
What? I think it was Lacey J said something there, right? And it's so true. The description that was given right here, a lady who is said to be a former educator, of sort, seems to be, and they say that you're short and you're dark skinned. This is half of Grenada. This is half of. There's a lot of people that's short and dark skinned and have 2 kids and former educators. What made anybody think that it was you in the first place? Do you fit any other description that was outlined in the article?
I think we are all adults.
Right.
The persons on the live, I'm not sure if we have any children viewing the live, but I think we are all adults, and we do things, we go out.
Right.
There are times I do hang out at different places.
Uh-huh.
I do karaoke. I love singing. I do that. But I'm not into the habit of going to look for men or picking up men and going to different places. I'm not into that habit because I know the implications of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what propelled that individual or individuals to attach my photo to such article.
Do you have any idea who might have written this article? And do you think that it was purposely done to target you in particular, to give certain description, to point a finger to someone that resembles you in a particular area, do you have any idea who may have want to do something like this?
Okay, I can after the article came out on Friday, I received many phone calls and persons are telling me, oh, you know who do it. You're supposed to know who do it. And they've been giving me a certain individual's name. And then thinking about it, I said, well, it could be a possibility because of certain things that's been going on and so on. So I said it could be a possibility, but I'll leave that for the police to deal with.
So you're saying that it's a possibility that someone is trying to get at you, to target you, to tarnish your name, to put certain information on there, to point to you in a certain kind of way because they want to get back at you?
I believe so.
Okay, let's get the backstory. And as clear as you could be with us, because you know, I want the audience to get a full story of this right here. And I know there are some particulars that you may feel like you don't want to discuss. But talk to us. Is there any backstory to this here? Is there anything else that we need to understand about this? Because I have a feeling that there are some other information that you could talk about, that you could to bring more clarity to this whole situation here. Is there any backstory that you could tell us about this? What you know about
So I should be having a court hearing with a certain individual. And that individual, that's the person's name that's been coming up all the time. When someone calls me, they say, well, that's the person that did it. That's the person who did it. So I think that the person had motive to do that article. I'm not sure why, probably to discredit me. I don't know.
Again, guys, if you just join us, I'll read a little piece of this article here. And in full disclosure, right, I did get a chance to speak to the owner of this particular newspaper, and I'll tell you his position and his stand on this. Now, he owned the newspaper, he could publish anything that he published, right? But as I said, after going to this article right here, it is salacious. You know, it basically points out information that the editor or the publisher of this particular newspaper cannot verify. So he put something out there that he cannot verify, and it alarmed a lot of people. Part of the article said from a perspective of a concerned citizen, he's saying that I had lived in Guav all my life, and I'm very proud of of many accomplishments. I must say that at times there are things that happens there that he's not so proud of, and he speak about this particular incident. So so as far as where the writer or the publisher or the editor is coming from, he's doing it to make the public aware, make the people from Guav aware. But what he did, directly or indirectly, is point at a particular individual, namely this particular lady here. Well, not point at her in all the details, but some of the things that were said here, as she being from a particular area. Now, keep in mind that Grenada is a small place. If you're talking about a place like New York, where you have millions of people, no, Grenada is only about 100,000 people. And if you speak about Guav, that now and you pinpoint out a person like that, it's very easy to identify the person. So it's quite possible that based on the description that was given, made other people to assume that it was potentially that particular individual. But what was blatantly wrong about this now, from my point of view, is when this young lady picture started to circulate, right? When her picture started to circulate. Now, she called us on the program crying. And I want you to talk to us about how you felt as far as for your safety after you got all this information and calls from various individuals who pointed you out from this article.
I after Friday morning, after reading the article and then receiving numerous phone calls, then after seeing my picture attached to that particular article, I didn't know how to face the world. Because I mean, everybody would be, my picture is there, everybody will be looking at me. And if I tell you I had breakfast on Friday morning and the next meal I had was Saturday night because I couldn't eat. I couldn't get up from my bed because of that article, because of the picture that was circulated along with the article.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have any idea? Go ahead.
Yeah, we're supposed to be a Christian community. And what happened? Are we a dog-eat-dog society? Where is our empathy? And I'm wondering, Randy Paul,
Paul, yeah.
He seemed to be a prolific writer. But someone who can write this well didn't even stop and think twice before sending or dropping in his article to the newspaper. If he was so concerned, why not contact the relevant authority? What happened to the Ministry of Health? Why couldn't that letter be written to the Ministry of Health so that that young lady can be brought in to be tested? Why go to the newspaper? What can the media do to help that young lady? The Ministry of Health can help by getting her tested.
Yes. Stick up in right there. We got a call. Let's take this call real quick on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Hey, Junior. It's Misha, Miss Isaac, New York.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I have a question for the young lady.
Mm-hmm.
I've been as a Ridealong guest myself, a person living with HIV who's an activist. I could understand and empathize with her, how she felt, even though she knows that she's not HIV positive.
Right.
However, this case, not only is it very serious, it's also very dangerous because her life, her children's life, and everyone is involved, there's a major thing at stake here. So, one, she's saying that she screamed when she saw this, and then she went into a shock, knowing in her mind that she's not HIV positive that she know of. She said that she gets checks every year. So as an advocate and as a person living with HIV, as a testing counselor, I'm here to tell you, maybe this person, whoever this person is, maybe he's trying to say something and he probably don't know how to say it. Because what we do know here in America, right, once you get exposed to HIV, it takes about 14 days for HIV to show up within your body. You could get tested last month and your HIV test could be negative, and you get tested in the next Thursday, and you had an exposure between that 14 days after that, you are positive.
Right.
So these are things that you have to take into consideration. It's really, really sad, and I'm disheartened that this young lady had to go through that. But seriously, she definitely needs to get a lawyer on this case, and she needs to also get herself checked for her own mental sanity.
Yeah. I understand I understand the call for a lawyer, right? And I appreciate you being an advocate and you speaking also strongly on that, right? But I think the real question right here is the morality behind it, right? Because the newspaper could easily defend themselves, which they did, and say, well, we didn't name any particular individual. Why she claimed that article? Why she think it's her?
That could have been anybody.
That could have been anybody, right? And the newspaper perspective is, well, we did it for the good of the community. We did it because we wanted to protect the community. That's their point of view.
That's not their job.
Right.
But that's not their job to do. There's something called confidentiality.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you a question here, because you are a professional on this, and Wendy will come back to you right there. Because none of this information was put out there, 100% her name is not put out. They gonna say, well, they show they can't. They never call. They never call
Call her name, right?
Call no names. You know what I mean? They put it out there, and it seemed like she claimed it. Because if they're saying, and that's what the owner of the newspaper said. He said, well, does she frequent bars at night? Does she pick up 11 men per night? And if those things are no, then it's not her. So I am not even really much concerned. Well, I'm concerned with the article because I think it's salacious. I don't think he have any place being there, but the man could write whatever he wants. It's his paper. What I'm mostly concerned about is her picture now being circulated on social media and attached to this particular article. This is the most disheartening part of this whole story right here. This is the focus.
Yeah.
You know, and as an advocate, and you've been through this, how could she deal with something like this at this point in time? What's the best recourse? What could she do?
Right now, I think that she needs.
Hello?
Yeah, I think I lost you for a second.
No, I'm here. No. I was just asking you, what is her recourse? What could she do from here?
What she went through, that's traumatic. That's one. Seeing her picture attached to an article that she knows is not her, that's very traumatic. She's definitely going to need some counseling and some help and some reassurance for herself, right? Moving forward. And of course, as West Indians, right, we have a way of causing people, telling people stories for them, not really knowing factual things about people's lives. And I think that we need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And if this is not her, she knows this is not her. She knows.
Go ahead, caller. Okay, I think we lost the caller. All right. 717-015-720. If anyone want to put their input on this right here, we're talking to Wendy. Let me recap again, guys. And Wendy is our guest. A very salacious article was written. Hello, caller?
I'm so sorry, Junior. We got cut off.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, go ahead. Finish up.
But I was saying to her that, if she knows for sure that this is not her, don't own this. Do not own this. Do not own none of this stuff at all. Take it from a person who's been diagnosed with HIV for the past 20 years this year. I was 19 years old when I became HIV positive. Okay. And it took me 17 years to even reach to this place to say, F the world and F people and their stigma and their negative beliefs. And literally, I told my story on this show. And ever since then, it's like the floodgates has been open for me, where now I teach people how to overcome these type of stigma. So you're not HIV positive. You're not HIV positive. Find you some counseling so that you can get over this and do what you have to do and recourse to the person who published your picture and attached it to this article, because you know that this is not you, and don't own this stuff.
Don't own it.
Not you, don't own it.
That is it.
Not own it.
That is it. But as far as what we're getting from her, and Wendy coming here, right? It's not that she's owning. It's not that she's owning this, right? Is that no, someone attached her picture, so they made her part of the story. So that's why I said that is the disgusting part of it. The person who owned the newspaper, I mean, he can publish anything he wants. He can't say he can't go screaming fire. I mean, there are restrictions in terms of all of these things. Yeah, a responsible journalist would seek information. I'm not saying that the paper is not responsible, but in a situation like that, you draw a whole set of alarm to people in a specific area, and you don't even know if that those information are factual. So that's not something I would do. That's not something I would do, and probably other institutions, media institutions, wouldn't do it as well. He chose to do it, right? He chose to do it without naming any particular person. But listen, Carl, we have someone else on the line. I got to take this call, but listen, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time. We're going to go back to Wendy. Caller, your live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, I am calling out from Brooklyn, New York.
Go right ahead, caller.
All right. Junior, I have listened to the story. I have seen the uproar over social media. I have heard, a lot of people had mixed emotions about the whole situation. But like the previous caller said, it's not you. Don't own up to it.
Right.
You understand, right? But my thing is, Junior, if in fact this was the case, and let's say a person is HIV positive, I think that people's health status is one that should be held at the fullest confidentiality, right?
Uh-huh.
And the stigma and the discrimination, it got to stop. And it's just not happening in Grenada, but it also happens in a lot of Caribbean countries. So I think, in my opinion, to resolve all this, I think that Grenada on a whole, they need to educate people more, because some people still think that you can catch this virus from a spoon. You
Right.
understand me? Which is not the case.
Right.
It is either blood transfusion or through sexual intercourse or body fluid. You cannot catch HIV from sitting next to someone on a bus. I'm sorry if I'm taking too long, but it's just a little educational speech I'm going to give, right?
Right.
Right. So it's like you do not catch HIV from just sitting on a bus next to someone, sharing a cup, sharing a spoon. So, all these discrimination on people's health status, Junior, it needs to stop.
Yeah.
Especially in Grenada, it needs to stop.
Yeah. You're right there.
All right?
You're right
That's
there.
all I have to say for today, Junior. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
Wendy, let's come back to you. What impact did this create or have or is having on your kids?
Mr. George, I had a conversation with my daughter today, because I knew that after the incident on Friday, today would have been the first day going back to school.
Right.
So I had a conversation with her, and she's telling me that persons are meeting her on the street to ask her if her mother have AIDS.
Ooh.
And then my daughter is preparing for CPA next week.
Mm-hmm.
My main concern with that, what if my daughter did not know of the article that was published on Friday?
Mm.
And you would think that children are asking her that, adults asking her that, adults putting her standing and asking her, when the adult should be be more responsible. How can you put a child stand up asking questions like that? That's ridiculous.
And that is.
And the thing is that I've been praying for these individuals ceaselessly. The people, the individual or individuals that attached my picture to that article, I am praying for them. And I'm just hoping that they will look into themselves, look deep, dig deep into themselves and ask themselves why. Why? If their picture was attached to that article, how would they feel?
Yes. I totally agree. And I understand. And a lot of times people don't get it until it's in their backyard. A lot of people still asking, why the hell are we even having this conversation? Why am I even bringing her on to talk about this? Why do we sit here and make time for this type of talk? The truth and the fact about it is, if it was you or your family or somebody close to you, you would have wanted to clear your name the same way, right? And this young lady is saying loud and clear that is not her. In essence, whoever is sharing the picture, and how things work on social media, you get it, you don't even know what information is right or wrong, you just share it. You just share it and share it and share it, and so it becomes viral with her picture attached to it. Now think about it. If that was you, a family member, your sister, or somebody close to you, your mother or something, how would you feel? about that. Right? That is why she's here today, you know. Again, the decision to the legal ramification behind this, that is a total different conversation. Right? How this go from here on with lawyers and police, and that is a total different discussion. But I feel very, very bad for this young lady that now her picture had to be attached. So she's not owning the story. She got pulled into the story by her picture being shared. We got another caller. Caller, you live.
Hi, Junior. It's me, and I just had to point one more thing out before I decide to go back to watch the live, right?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about the educational fact of the HIV, the whole discrimination stuff, right? And HIV is a stigma, you know, and what it is the negative attitudes and belief about people with HIV. So what I want to ask is this the prejudice that comes with labeling an individual as a part of a group, and that is believed to be socially unacceptable, which is not. You understand me? And I personally believe that that students need to be educated on that, even in school, because I remember going to school and it was a topic that was never really brought up, because you know, I have a lot of friends, Junior, who is diagnosed with HIV virus, some of them with AIDS, which is two completely different things.
Right.
You understand me? A lot of people live longer for years with HIV rather than cancer. You understand me? But what I have to say to the mother is just keep your head high. Don't let anybody, you know, come down on you, because even though I believe personally it's not true, people have a way of spreading rumors and lies just in order to make themselves feel better, Junior.
Yeah.
And that is a fact. People would tarnish your name and make derogatory comments about you only because they are hurt. They are hurt about themselves. So like I'm going to say, and I also heard her mention that people on the streets is asking her daughter if her mother is HIV positive, you know, and I think that the mother needs to sit with her daughter and explain to her exactly what happened. And apart from that, she should also let her know that, okay, this is not a real situation. It's not true. They're only tarnishing my name, but at the same time, educate her on what HIV is or what AIDS is.
Right. Absolutely.
You understand me? So then she would be mentally prepared as she walks into the future. So anybody comes to her with any of those discussions, she as a child would know how to handle it.
Right.
You know, it's all up to us as the grown individuals to put our words out there. And I think that the health minister and the health officials should also host a lot of seminars, like even in the public, like rapid testing. All these things need to be done, because there are a lot of people out there who suffer with HIV in Grenada.
Yeah. And
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But HIV has no face. It has no look. You don't know who has it. You just like cancer or any other plague that has hit this planet of the earth. You don't know what it looks
and
like.
That is true.
And
that is so true. That is so true. And I appreciate your education on this matter right here. But my real frustration and anger is to the person who thought that it was a good idea to put this out there and attach her picture to it. That is my major discomfort. If the article was written, right, and your information was not attached to it, would you have come and ride along, or would you have made a big stink out of this?
I would continue with my daily life. Because, I mean, we go through life, people say things about us all the time.
Yeah.
But then when my picture was attached to that article, that was the last blow.
Right.
I mean, we go through our daily, our day-to-day activities, and we don't know the state of mind. Even the person sitting or standing right next to us, we don't know what they are going through. We don't know how they feel. What if when I saw my picture, I took my life? Would I be here on Ridealong? And then persons would say, oh, they're sorry if they did know. But by then it would have been too late. And I mean, these are real life situations. And we are dealing with these things every day. We hear people taking their life and we wonder why. But what if I wasn't strong enough and as I saw my picture, I just decided, oh, it's the end. It's the end. I can't face the world. It's the end for me. So I just took my life. I mean, this is downright bullying. It is bullying.
Yes.
And this has to stop. What examples are we showing to the younger generation? We always tell them when they go to school, don't tease children. What is different to that? What is so different?
And there is a scenario that says the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken scenario, right? Had the article or never written, then her picture wouldn't be circulated.
That's right. That's right.
So that was a catalyst. The article was a catalyst to your picture being shown. So the question to you is, who do you hold responsible for this?
The newspaper and the persons who shared the picture. Because I'm not going to just hold one person responsible. I mean, even if I see many articles from the newspaper.
Right.
But I don't go, when I read articles from the newspaper, I have persons in mind. I say, oh, it's probably that person. But I am not sure. I am only speculating. So I cannot, and I would never just go get a picture because I speculate and say, oh, it's that person. Go and get their picture and attach it to the article. Why would I do that? I don't know how the person's feeling. It's probably not even the person. And then I'm putting myself in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll still continue to pray for these people. Because this fight, it's not a fight for me, but it's a fight for God. God is going to deal with them. And the law is going to deal with them as well.
If you have the opportunity, and I'm sure people from the newspaper is watching, people are watching, and you will get in a few inbox, and you're speaking to them right now. I want you to tell them the reality that happened to you as a result of this being published. Whether it's, well, I mean, you provided and talked to us about some very personal information, so I could verify that her status is HIV negative. So that is a fake and fraudulent information that is put out there, and she's not claiming the article. She's not claiming that she's that person. But again, that is a catalyst as to why her picture was posted out. So if you have an opportunity and you have the ear, the eyes, and the vision of or the attention, of the people who were involved in writing the paper, what you have to tell them?
I would like these people to verify information before putting it out there. I mean, the people look to you every day for information, for news. And I'm thinking, when you read an article from the newspaper, it should be based on facts and not false information. It should be based on facts. And I'd like to make an appeal as well, so that the people of Grenada can be sensitized about HIV. Because I'll make one comment on one of the phone calls I got. Someone said to me, when the picture came out on Friday, the place where they were, someone was there and they say, oh, I wonder if she sat down here. Let me get up here. So right away, I know that this person needs to be educated about how one can catch HIV.
Right.
So we need to sensitize the people as to what HIV is, how it can be transmitted. And the stigma has to end. People with HIV live a normal life. People with HIV live a normal life, and they are no less of a person if they have HIV or whatever other disease or virus or whatever it is they have. They are no less than a person. They are humans. They breathe the same air that we breathe in. They serve the same God that we pray to. They have families. They have children. They have relatives. They have friends. And these things can affect each and every one of the persons I just listed.
And you're so right. You're so right. Because I think...
What if I decide to apply for a job?
Yes.
I mean, the picture was out there. I'm not sure the interviewer. I'm not sure how he or she will look at me because of that picture that was out there.
Yeah. In terms of...
So we need to...
In terms of... Go ahead. Finish your thoughts. Go ahead.
We need to think twice before doing things. Not because something popped through our brain, we jump and do it. No. Think. And then think again, and then rethink again before doing things. Because everything we do affects us, and it affects the people around us.
Yeah. Yeah. What type of legal action are you prepared or advised to take to try to get some answers for the situation? Are you speaking with someone, or are you planning to go that route?
I haven't spoken to anyone because I'm still trying to let this sink in. I don't even know how to face outside. I mean, I was just strong enough today to go to my veranda. My veranda. I was strong enough today to stand up in my kitchen and cook. Today.
Yeah.
So I'm still, this has to sink in. Yeah.
Folks, let me also say this, and we open up the phone lines if you guys have any thoughts on this, on how she could go forward with this. But a lot of people are saying, a lot of people have messaged in the chat, and I'm saying, why is she making a big stink out of this? And I'm watching comments, and people are still of the opinion that she should not have said anything. People are still saying, and for those of you who are still saying this, I want you guys to listen this really carefully, right? An article was posted about HIV in a particular village. The young lady picture started to circulate on social media attached to that goddamn article. That's what started to happen. So how could you not expect her to answer and clear her name? How could you not expect her to go on whatever platform she feel like to clear her name? She's not owning the article. She's not saying that is her. She's defending the fact that the article, that the picture that's attached to the article is not her. And people should stop sharing it. That is what it is. But it don't seem like a lot of people quite understand.
Mr. George.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Unless a party is not taking place in someone's yard, they won't know the noise. I know how I felt when my picture started circulating.
And that is your point. That is your prevailing point right here. Your picture started to circulate attached to this article. Now everybody's sharing it, because when I got it from someone, it's like someone sent it in a blast, and I got it, and he had the article, and he had your picture, and he had the article. So I wouldn't know if the newspaper printed your picture or not. I got it on WhatsApp. And a lot of people got it the same way as well.
Yes.
And how could people still not understand why you should not defend your name? And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And people are still defending the fact that they still think that this young lady is making too much of this. And I don't understand. I don't get it. Let's take a call. Caller, you live? I will ask a caller. 718-701-5720. 718-701-5720. That's my number right here. We're talking about this it's a disgusting article, if I should say so myself. Again, it's not an article that I would publish, but the owners, publishers of that particular newspaper decided to publish this article stating of HIV and the exact article, I don't want to paraphrase, is a possible HIV outbreak in Guave, right? And written by someone named Randy Paul, which a lot of people in Guave don't know Randy Paul. So that's an alias. Somebody is clearly writing this article from some kind of from some kind of alias that they don't want nobody to identify them. Plain and simple. Right? So if you're not a part of the solution, because if you wanted to be a part of the solution, if you were so concerned about being a part of the solution, you would put your information there so people would talk to you and get facts about this. But clearly you wanted, and your aim was to malign somebody bad and give somebody a bad name. And who to know that the person, the same Randy Paul who put this out there, wasn't the same person who shared it. I don't know that to be a fact, but who knows, right? The fact of the matter is this so-called Randy Paul individual is not trying to be a part of the solution. You are adding to the problem, all right? And it's speed up much more because we have social media, we have WhatsApp, we have all these other mediums, and the thing just went like wildfire across social media because people like Bacchanal. People like Bacchanal. I invited her here today to clear her name, and I think we're doing the right thing by having her clear her name. This is not her. She's not owning the article, but she wants people to stop posting her picture attached to this article because this is not her. Point blank, simple, fast. That is it. We're taking two more calls, 718-701-5720. And I'm disgusted by it, guys, because I have sisters, right? I have sisters, and I have very close female friends. And if anything like that were to happen, I would be just as upset. I've seen a lot of guys jumping on this, like backing up this thing. Like, why not? Why shouldn't he write an article like this? This is disgusting. This is disgusting. 718-701-5720, guys. Starting to get kind of warm in here, kind of hot in here. I'm probably saying too much at this point. Let me take a quick break. And we'll be right back. We're talking live with Wendy. We'll be right back. Don't move.
David Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Hi, guys, we're back. This program sponsored by David Williams Funeral Service and also TCI. All right. So, I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to give you full screen. Wendy, I want you to talk to the audience. I want you to talk to them, talk to the viewers, talk to the so-called Randy Paul, Talk to anyone that is sharing this. Talk to the person or persons that uploaded your picture and attached to this disgusting article. Talk to the newspaper writer, editor, publisher, whatever. Just talk to the world and tell them all you feel, how you feel about this. Just pour out your heart. Go right ahead. You got full screen.
Okay, I want to address Randy Paul to let him know that it wasn't a nice thing to do. Whoever is the person he was targeting, why didn't he reach out to the person and let the person know, oh, well, you need to get tested? Why didn't he go to the health authorities to let them know of the situation so that they can get that young lady tested? If you care about the community so much, and the community was so much in alarm and scared and families shaking and all these things, why not go to the health authorities? What the media was going to do? They can't get the young lady tested, but the health authorities can. And to the people that's been sharing my photo along with that distasteful, disgusting article, as I said before, I've been praying for them. And I'll continue to pray because I want them to dig deep into themselves and to realize that it wasn't a good move. No, you don't have the right to do that. You don't just get up and do things like that. Because as I always say, we can choose what we do and how we do, but we cannot choose our consequences. That's what we cannot choose. We choose what we do, how we do it, but we cannot choose our consequences. So that's why I say that we must think first, think second, think third before doing things. Because whatever we do, there are consequences to it.
Yeah. Well said right there. Hold on, we got one other caller coming in from Grenada. Caller, you live? Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening, Junior, and to Wendy. I had to gather myself before I actually called.
Yeah.
And just from observing the comments, even the comments before this live went on, I have to wonder if we are actually a Christian nation with the lack of compassion and understanding that I see people are writing, you know? Because I'm thinking people saying how she shouldn't come on live and talk about this and blah, 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 her name wasn't given and this and that. But people are forgetting that this is not America. Even if you're in a salacious article, you can easily move to another state, another big city, and your life goes on. This is Grenada. Even if I don't know Wendy, somebody else might know Wendy, and that's how rumors spread, that's how things spread. People don't understand that. So she has a right to clear her name.
Yes.
And her pictures spreading all over the place. And the level of ignorance that Grenadians have towards certain things like HIV and AIDS, it's very important that she clears her name. Because what if her job gets a hold of this and they fire her and all this scandal going on, they don't want to be associated with her and all of that. This is a huge deal.
Yes.
And people need to realize that, you know, she has every right to clear her name.
And defend herself.
Right.
And defend herself.
And defend herself.
You know,
if they were in that position, they would do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that
because people are already calling her and asking her questions. So she has every right to go online and defend herself. That's where it all started.
Yeah. Yeah. Point well taken there, caller. We appreciate your input on this. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree with her defending herself. Wendy, anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up? I'll take a few more calls. Anything else you wanted to say?
I just like to thank the persons that logged on to the live, well, looking on, listening, persons that shared the live. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
All the people that have been calling me, giving me encouraging words. I also say thank you to them. I really do appreciate Even though some of the calls were late at night, persons calling to check up on me, make sure that I'm okay. I'm very grateful for that.
Right. And if at all you feel concerned for your safety, I want you to give us a call or call the police. We have some people who have kind of put on watch already to be on call in case you make that call to us, because I know that, you know, people are not very friendly in situations like this. And there are a lot of jealous people out there. There's a lot of people with anger issues, and you know, they might take this the other way. So if you ever need our assistance, feel free to call, and we'll provide some other assistance for you as well. Okay, Wendy?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy.
Yeah.
All right, so let me hear your voices now, guys. Let me hear your voices now. And I want some callers. I want someone from Guave to call, or close in the area of Guave. I want someone from Guave or in the vicinity of Guave to call right now. I want you guys to call, because yeah, based on our investigation into this story right here, right, we found out that nobody in Guave know who Randy Paul is. So which means that Randy Paul doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen. So this is not an op-ed, or this is salacious. This is clickbait. This is what it is. I'm not even, again, my position is the article is disgusting, and it was done for one specific reason. But I want people in Guave to call, because the article made mention of some other things too, which I want to debunk. Someone is calling me, but I don't think it's for this, for the program. They mentioned that certain people in the area, in the neighborhood of Guave, they are so frightened and scared because of this particular individual. Do anybody in Guave have this reality of what is being spoken about in this particular article? Give me a call, somebody in Guave. It must have somebody from Guave on the live here. It must have somebody from Guave on this live here. I'm waiting. Somebody from Guave call. 718-701-5720. I'm waiting. Somebody from Guave call. Even if you call me on WhatsApp, wherever, just call me. Somebody from Guave. This is the number. Somebody pin the number, and then somebody from Guave call. Somebody from Guave. I want somebody from Guave to call. You mean there's nobody from Guave on the whole ride along? Nobody from Guave. Nobody from Guave. Nobody from Guave. 718-701-5720. I want somebody from Guave or close surrounding areas. Close surrounding areas. I want a little call. 718-701-5720. You realize the people are them who are the most mouth. They're talking all set of crap. They doesn't call, right? We call them keyboard bandit. Right? They don't want to call. They probably using a fake account. Right? And that is them just stay behind the keyboard and talk all kind of thing. But they badging on the keyboard, you know. They badging on the keyboard. They badging on the keyboard, but they ain't go call. They have everything negative to say, but they ain't go call. Again, I open up the phone lines again. 718-701-5720. Let's take this call. Hello. Hey, you're live. You're live. You wanted to be live?
How are you doing? No problem.
Okay. So we live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is police officer. So we live. You know the topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I've been listening. I've been listening, and I must say you're a very sad situation.
Right. Now hold on. Let me tell people who it is. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. This is police. Well, let me get your whole let me get your whole title correct. You are not police officer Beast. You are
DSP, Raymond Matthew.
Okay, Raymond Matthew. Right. Good. Mr.
Right.
Raymond Matthew, sir. Go ahead.
Right. I called because you say you wanted someone from Guelph to call.
Yes.
And as you know, I'm there for Guelph. Once it's Guelph, I'll answer the call.
Right.
As I was saying, it's a very sad situation. Heartfelt to the sister over this whole situation. I think what should happen now is that she should report this to the police.
Which she did.
Right. Well, you know, I think I was listening as she said she didn't know where to start and stuff. She could go into CID.
Right.
And report that. We have persons that we have good investigators there who will investigate the matter. And persons who would have been sharing her photos and stuff, attach her photos to this article, they let them know they could be charged.
Mm-hmm.
And the charges are heavy fine.
For sharing the pictures, for sharing it.
For you know, just sharing it. You know, they could be fined, as I say, once the investigation has been carried out. And let the law act. Let the law take its course.
Yes.
On the issue of Randy Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Well, boy, I'll tell you something. In Guelph, we go by. We know everybody's nicknames. Until we know everybody's name, we don't use people's name in Guelph. You go by nickname.
Right.
But mind you, we know everybody.
Do you know Randy Paul?
No. I know a lot of Pauls in Guelph from Guelph, but we don't know Randy Paul. We surely don't have a Randy Paul there. So you know. As I say, it's a sad situation. I know the young lady. I don't know what too good, but I have an idea who she is, and I want to let her know she could feel free to call me. You know, as you say, if she's feeling threatened, if she feels harassed or anything, you know, report it to the police. Go into the Guelph police station, and let's get some people charged and brought before the court. Maybe once that is being done. Once that is being done, people will get the message and get off our back.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to, you know, take the bull by the horn. You know what I mean? As I said, the newspaper. I saw the article. I didn't see her photos and stuff, but you know, I know persons who would have said that they received the photo and stuff. And let's deal with it, sister. Let's deal with it.
Yes.
This nonsense needs to stop.
Let me ask you about any legal ramifications for the newspaper. Is the newspaper liable?
Well, that aspect, I cannot comment on that. I mean, there's little ends and twists and stuff within the law that, you know, maybe it does not apply to me knowing what could be done. But she needs to speak with an attorney. We have good attorneys, you know, Derek Sylvester, enough of them that she could speak to. And I know normally some attorneys will charge a fee for consultation, but there are attorneys that will take up that fight without charging for consultation. She needs to speak to them, speak to any of the attorneys, and if there's a civil case there, I think they could help her. But I personally, I cannot say, as I say, you know, I don't know that aspect of the law where, you know, to say that the newspaper is liable or whatsoever. What I do know is the persons that sharing the pictures.
Right.
They could be in some serious trouble.
Right. And also for the people who continue to share it. So it's not only for the original, not only the original. If you share it, you liable too.
Yes, just by me taking it and just sending it to somebody else. Once the police could prove that, once the investigation could come up with that, you're in trouble.
I want them to listen loud and clear to this right here. Beast, the last thing I want to ask you about is the chicken and the egg scenario. And it has to do with the article and the picture. Had it not been for the article, the picture would never be shared. If the article was never written, the picture would never be shared. People would never be talking about this here today. That's why I'm talking about liability, possible liability for the newspaper.
Well, what I've seen by reading the newspaper is that they didn't the newspaper was smart enough not to mention any names.
Right.
Although he gave some description. The persons sharing the pictures would have taken on their own.
Yeah.
Would have taken on their own to judge and want to say, well, it's that person or this person and go ahead and identify the young lady and send out a picture.
Yeah.
Right. No, the newspaper could always say that based on the scenario, the article that was sent to them, they were acting in a responsible way of maybe informing the people of Guava, informing the nation. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that's what that's what they say.
No, that's what they said, because I did in fact speak to the owner, and that's exactly what he said. In a nutshell, that's what they said.
No, and I understand what the young lady's saying. Maybe if that was true, that wasn't the right forum.
Right.
That shouldn't be the right forum. Looking at it, I cannot say who is the writer.
Mm-hmm.
I know definitely there is no Randy Polygraph.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Guav was plagued with that kind of that type of information about AIDS before. When AIDS just came out, Guav was one of the areas that was attacked heavily with this whole AIDS scenario. I'm from Guav, and I will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a lot of bashing for it and stuff. And what I was happy about with this scenario now is that people, the layman on the street in Guav was telling you what we don't know around the party in Guav, and this is not true. They don't believe that. They don't believe. You understand?
Right.
Whoever wrote it, persons felt that it was a malicious act, an act of spite. And I'm not in a position to say who it is, who wrote it, or whatsoever. I don't know what is the situation. The young lady said she might have an idea as to who did it and stuff. That's another story. But I could tell you, we have no Randy Polygraph, and I don't think no Randy Polygraph will waste the time to try to send a story like that to the papers.
Got you. Thank you so much, Raymond Matthew. Beast, we'll keep in touch, my brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Beast said he had to answer the call for Gov, and I appreciate that. Giving us various perspective on this story right here. So, guys, in conclusion and wrapping up, let me say that I believe, after doing all our check and on this story here, I believe that the story and what the piece of paper that it was written on, it's crap, and I think it was done maliciously, right? But I'm more concerned and I'm very upset that people continue to share this young lady picture. Hence the reason why she came on the program. Hence the reason why we agreed to bring her on to talk about it, so she could clear her name. Again, I understand that the newspaper didn't call any name And based on the description that was given, it could probably be about 5 people in Guelph, possibly, right? And I understand that. Come on, I understand it could be 5 different people in Guelph that fit that description, if you really break it down, right? Yeah. But clearly, someone or few people decide to pin one particular individual and started to share her picture in a negative, malicious way. And that's why she's here, to clear her name. Anybody else wants to call? I'll keep the line open again for another minute or so. And let me say this again. Listen, I just take a lot of hit for people, and I don't mind it. Trust me, I don't mind it. Because after I decided that we're doing this program today, people started to cuss me. Like we Ridealong were the ones who wrote the article and put it out there, right? They wasn't upset that this article is circulating with someone picture on it. They wasn't upset about that. No, man. They wasn't upset. What are they upset over that for? They wasn't upset that a young lady picture is being maligned with spreading HIV. Her children is possibly going to be attacked. People is going to look at her, point at her, and give her all kind of bad face when she walk through her neighborhood. They wasn't upset about that. Nah. They say we are creating something out of nothing than it is, right? Me. And I beg, because in a lot of situations, the same set of people who talking about this, as soon as something happened to them and their family, we are here, and I'll be happy to defend you. If I see that something is done to anybody and it's injustice, I'm going to defend. I'm going to put my neck out, no matter how much talk that come after this. Caller, your live, go right ahead. Go right ahead, caller.
I just want to say, we as a people in Grenada, we need to stop victimizing victims further.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So true.
We need to start standing up for victims. When stuff like this happens to women, we need to stand up and stand by these women, regardless of what the situation is. Too often, we as Grenadian people seem to think that it's okay to bash people for defending themselves or bash people for speaking out, for clearing their names, especially when situations like this happen.
Yes, true.
Unless it's not happening to you, you don't know how it feels. Listen to what the young lady is saying, or any young lady for that matter of fact is saying. Listen to them and try to understand and have compassion and put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yep.
What if it was your picture going around, or your sister's picture going around, or your mother's picture going around? How would you feel then?
Mm-hmm.
Would you care that it's true or not true? Of course, you would have some kind of feeling and care if it's true or not. But far too often, people just push things to the side because it doesn't affect them personally.
Exactly.
But if we all continue to think like that, our society is going to go down the drain.
Yeah.
I just think it's time people have to hold the perpetrators accountable. We constantly sharing pictures, sharing videos, sharing doing these kinds of things without even knowing if it's true or not.
Yeah.
And it's time that we take accountability for our actions with the things that we do, the things that we share on our phones, and the way in which we react when we hear of certain situations involving certain individuals. It's time that we put ourselves in other people's shoes and see how they feel for once when something happens, whether it affects us or not.
Yeah, yeah. And you're so right, caller. You're so right, because I've seen it. And I've seen the worst, but this was pretty bad. And you would think that some female, I'm not saying men wouldn't feel her pain, but some female jump on the post and they started to abuse the girl like she did something wrong. They started to abuse the young lady like if she like this. And it's so insensitive, right? It's so insensitive for anybody. But I was shocked to see some female started to malign the lady for defending and telling people don't post a picture. Go ahead.
A lot of the times it's more women, Junior, than men. A lot of the times it's more women that are happy to bash another woman or degrade another woman. A lot of times it's just women doing it even more than men, especially on a public platform. But I think it's time we as a people start thinking before we act.
Yeah.
Start questioning ourselves before we forward stuff about people as to whether it's true or not. And when someone is speaking out, it's time that we listen to what they have to say. Everyone has a right to defend themselves, and everyone has a right to speak on issues affecting them.
Everyone have a story to tell.
That's right.
We're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much, caller. We really appreciate your point of view. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Everyone has a story to tell. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. That's as far as we'll go for today. Tomorrow, we have a very interesting story. And a whole set of interesting story this week, guys. And I promise you, we're going to go all through the week. I know last week it was hop and drop. That's because I was fighting with my account. Facebook blocked me. Somebody tried to do a takedown, right? Somebody tried to do me a takedown. But let me tell them really clear, right? Let me tell all you really clear. For the people who go on and report every single post that I make on my personal profile page as relate, and also on the Ridealong page, right? You fail. You goddamn freaking fail, right? Your takedown, your attempt takedown didn't work, and it won't work, and it won't work at all. So don't try it again. We know who some of the perpetrators are. You guys try very, very hard to create this atmosphere and create this kind of anxiety, and as what happened last week. 2 weeks my account was disabled because why? People started to every single post they'll go on there and basically complain, flag a post. I said good morning, they flag it. Facebook got so upset, like that one person have so much flags, red flag, it had to be something there. We were able to prove that all of this stuff was just malicious as well, and we end up getting back the account, and we have like a certain shield around it now, so your shit is not gonna work again. Pardon my French. All right, so thank you guys for hanging in there with us. We went through a whole week where Facebook wasn't sending out notification to nobody. That was fixed. Monetization back on the account, that was fixed. My account came back, that was fixed, and we're back cooking in full gas. All right, so your attempt failed, and it won't work again. All right, good night. Catch you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
On this battlefield, you are tougher than steel. Yo, just show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lion now. Strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Strength.
Let me take some time to pick up our sponsors, guys. If you're getting married, right? So you're getting married and you need a video production, or you have a funeral, or anything that you require professional video production, right? You got to call Ridealong Family, the professional video production streaming company. Call them 718-701-5720. Yeah, man, you're getting married, you want it virtual, having a baby shower, wedding, I said wedding already, funeral, what have you. You got to call Ridealong Family, 718-701-5720.
Are you fed up of your mask or your foggy face shield? Introducing the Fashion Shield from callallpronow.com. Keep your hairdo intact, your makeup flawless, and be fully protected. Get the Fashion Shield now. Call 516-387-4246 or visit callallpronow.com.
Feeling hungry? Grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican patties, slide and flaky. Caribbean food delight. Taste the difference. Caribbean food delight. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight. Quick and easy. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to TD Bank, where you'll find the personalized attention you deserve and the legendary experience you expect. Let's do business. If you are a medical or dental practitioner, contact me to hear about our tailored lending solutions for residential mortgages, equipment purchases, practice-related commercial mortgages and refinance. Visit me at 500 Baychester Avenue to hear more about our full range of personal and small business banking solutions. See you soon.
My name is Hollis Map, aka Mr. Killer. Why should I drink any other rum than Clark's Court rum? When Clark's Court is the rum that supports my community, my culture, my country. A long time ago, my ancestors used to work in the cane fields. Today, we own the rum, Class Code rum, Grenada's #1 rum. But my people, if you drink, don't drive. When you drink, drink responsibly. And if you're under 18, don't drink at all. Clark's Code rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Let's face it, this is not normal times, but life, it must go on. And with all these continued restrictions on get-togethers, you need a streaming company like Ridealong Media Group LLC, one that can stream to all your family members to the comfort of their own homes, both privately or publicly, you decide. One who understands your privacy, one who simply cares. So for that wedding, funeral, public or private event, choose the professional production company with the experience and quality guaranteed. Family can travel? Inquire about our seamless remote participant option. Thinking of streaming your virtual event? We handle it all. From multi-camera video production to streaming, post-production, editing, and more via Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, or any platform required. Call us and speak to our experienced professional team. 212-809-4324. That's 212-809-4324. Ridealong Media Group LLC. We're here when you need us.
We are survivors. We will survive. We will survive. We are firm believers. We'll forever strive just to stay alive. That simple means say nobody can hold we. Nobody can drain our energy. Nobody control we. We will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold we. Nobody can drain our energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Yo! Ride along say strength. No weakness. Show we a lion power. Yo, ride along, Junior. Go on, my brother. Enough love. Enough honor. Enough manners. Blessings. You understand? What you're doing for the music and for the people. Continue doing the thing here, my brother. One love, one Caribbean, one people, one nation. You understand? Blessed love. Much appreciated. Yeah? When that's so pharaoh, oh, everything I fumble. Everybody, show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lion power.